Vanity of vanities, saith the preacher. All is vanity. What advantage does a man have in all of his labor, in which he toils under the sun? A generation comes and a generation goes, but the earth stands forever. The sun rises and the sun sets and returns to its place. The wind rises and it goes towards the south and swirls towards the north. The wind whirls in a circular motion and returns full circle. All the rivers flow in the sea, yet the sea shall not be filled to the place where the rivers flow. They will return again. All words are wearisome, and a man will not be able to say them. Neither will his eye be satisfied with seeing, nor will his ear be filled with hearing. What has been is what will be, and what has been done is what will be done. There is nothing new under the sun. Who will speak and say, "See, this is new"? For it has already been in the ages that have passed before us. There is no remembrance of former things. And indeed there shall be no remembrance of later things by things that will come after that. Futility of man's wisdom. I, the preacher, was king over Israel in Jerusalem. I gave my heart out to seek and prepared myself in wisdom concerning all things done under heaven. For God has given painful distraction to the sons of men to be occupied therewith. I beheld all of the works done under the sun, and behold, all of it is vanity, and is the choice of one's spirit. That which has become crooked cannot be made straight, and what is lacking cannot be counted. I spoke in my heart, saying, "Behold, I have become great, and have acquired all of the wisdom beyond all before me in Jerusalem." And my heart has experienced such wisdom and knowledge. I gave my heart to know wisdom and knowledge, to learn proverbs and understanding, and this too was waywardness of spirit. For in the abundance of wisdom there is an abundance of knowledge, and he who increases in knowledge will increase in suffering. The vanity of merriment. I say in my heart, "Come now, I will test you in merriment, and see if this is good." And behold, this too is vanity. I said concerning laughter, "This is madness," and concerning merriment, "What does this accomplish?" I searched in my heart, and that I may excite my flesh as with wine, and my heart guided me in the ways of wisdom to grasp what is foolishness, until I might see what is good for the sons of men, that which they should do under the sun all of the days of their life. I made my works great. I built myself houses and planted vineyards for myself. I have planted myself gardens and parks and planted all kinds of fruit and trees in them. I made pools of water for myself from which to water growing trees. I acquired male and female servants, and servants too were born in my house, and I had abundant possessions of herds and flocks, more than all before me in Jerusalem. I also gathered silver and gold for myself, and abundant treasures of kings and countries. I provided male and female singers for myself, and delights of the sons of men, and male and female cupbearers. So I became great and advanced beyond all before me in Jerusalem. Wisdom established to me, but whatever my eyes desired, I did not keep from them. I did not withhold my heart from this merriment. My heart was made glad in all my labor, and this was my portion from my labor. Then I looked all on the works that my hands had done, and on the labor in which I had toiled, and indeed all is vanity, and is the choice of one's spirit. There is no profit under the sun. Wisdom excels foolishness. Then I turned myself to consider wisdom, madness, and foolishness. For who is the man who will follow after counsel? Whatever is it to do it? Then I saw that wisdom excels foolishness, as light excels darkness. The wise man's eyes are in his head, but the senseless man walks in darkness. And I indeed know that no event happens to all of them. So I said in my heart, as if it happens to the senseless man, so it also happens to me. Why, then, have I gained such abundant wisdom? Then I said in my heart, this indeed also is vanity. Because the senseless man speaks of his abundance. For there is no remembrance forever of the wise man or of the senseless man. Since now, as in the days to come, all things are forgotten. And how will the wise man as well as the senseless man face death? Thus I have hated life, because the work done under the sun was evil before me. For all is vanity, and is the choice of one's spirit. Then I hated all of my labor in which I had toiled under the sun, for I must leave it to the man who comes after me. For who knows whether he shall be wise or a senseless man, yet he will have authority over all my labor in which I toiled, and wherein I grew wise under the sun. Indeed, this also is vanity. So I turned my heart and despaired all over the labor wherein I toiled under the sun. For there is a man whose labor is with wisdom, knowledge, and courage, yet this man shall give his portion to the one who is not labored within. This also is vanity, and a great evil. For what does a man have for all of his labor in his purpose of heart, wherein he labors under the sun? For all his days are sorrowful, and the distraction of his life is his. For even in the night his heart takes no rest. This also is vanity. There is nothing better for a man than that he should eat, drink, and that his soul should enjoy good in his labor. This also I saw was from the hand of God. For whom will eat, or who will drink without him? And he gives wisdom, knowledge, and gladness to the man who is good in his sight, but to him who commits sin he who gives job of gathering, collecting, that he may give to the man who is good in God's eyes. This also is vanity, and is a choice of one's spirit. A time for everything. To everything there is a season, and a time for every matter under heaven. A time to give birth, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck what is planted, a time to kill, and a time to heal, a time to pull down, and a time to build up, a time to weep, and a time to laugh, a time to mourn, a time to dance, a time to throw stones, and a time to gather stones, a time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to seek, a time to lose, a time to keep, a time to throw away, a time to tear, a time to sow, a time to keep silent, and a time to speak, a time to love, a time to hate, a time of war, and a time of peace. What profit has the worker from all of his labors? I have seen altogether the task which God has given the sons of men to be engaged in. He made everything beautiful in its time, and he indeed put eternity in their hearts in such a way that man should not find out the work God made from the beginning to the end. I know there is nothing better for them than to rejoice and do good in their lives. Indeed, every man should eat and drink and experience the good in all of his labor. This is God's gift to them. I know that whatever things God does, they shall be forever. Nothing can be added or taken away from these things, for God did them that men would fear before him what has already been, and what is to be, what has been already been, and God will require an account of what is past. God judges all. Moreover, I saw the sun, the place of judgment. The ungodly man was there. I also saw the place of the righteous man. The ungodly man was not there. I said in my heart, God will judge both the righteous man and the ungodly man, for there is a time for every action and every work. I said in my heart, concerning the speech of the sons of men, God will judge them, so as to show them that indeed they are themselves like animals. For what happens to the sons of men also happens to animals. One thing befalls them, as the death of the one, so also is the death of the other, and there is one breath to all. So what advantage does a man have over an animal? For all things are vanity. All go to one place, and all from the dust, and all shall return to dust. Who knows the spirit of the sons of men, whether it goes upward, and the spirit of the animal, whether it goes downward to the earth? So I saw that there was no good, except that a man should rejoice in his works, for that is his portion. For who shall bring him to see what comes after him? Chapter 4. For those oppressed. Then I remembered and saw the oppressed under the sun. Behold the weeping of the oppressed, but they have no comforter. On the side of their oppressors was power, but they have no comforter. So I praise those who were already dead, than being more than the living. As many as are alive now, better than both these is those who has not yet been born, who has not yet seen all the evil work done under the sun. Again I saw all the labor and all the courage of the worker, that this is the zeal of a man because of his companion, that is also vanity, and this is the choice of one spirit. The senseless man folds his hands and consumes his own flesh. Better is a handful of rest than 2 handfuls of labor, and it is the choice of one spirit. Then I returned and saw the vanity under the sun. There is one, and there is not a second one, and he has neither son nor brother, and there is no end to all of his labor, neither is his eye satisfied with wealth. But he never asked, for whom do I labor and deprive myself of goodness? This also is vanity, and a painful destruction. 2 are better than 1, because they have good reward for their labor. For if they fall, one will lift up his companion. But woe to him who is alone when he falls, for there is not a second one to help him up. 2 to lie down together, both stay warm, but how can one stay warm alone? If one is at its strength, 2 will stand before him, and a 3-fold cord is not easily broken. Better is a poor and wise youth than an old and senseless king. Who will no longer take advice from this youth shall come from the house of prisoners to reign. Even though in his kingdom he was born poor, I saw all the living who walk under the sun, and they were with the youth, who will be established in the king's place. There was no end of all of the people over whom he had made king, yet those who come afterward will not rejoice in him. Surely this is also vanity, and a choice of one spirit. Walk carefully when you go to the house of God, and draw near to hear, rather than to offer as the sacrifice of senseless men, for they do not know what they do. That is chapters 1 through 4 of Ecclesiastes. I would make this video a lot longer. Those are probably my favorite chapters out of the entire book. That, along with the very end of this book. If you haven't already, please read the Bible. It's great. It's baller. It's bonkers. It's awesome. And it's real. And it's like God inspired it. It's the coolest thing ever. Y'all should try it. And with that, I hope you guys enjoy me giving an oratory. And this acts as an apology. As I mentioned earlier, my goal for the YouTube channel is, of course, the 2 oratories, a retelling of John Brown's oratory. I may, in fact, give the speech out of Oedipus's apology instead. And also I wanted to do an oratory of the monologue from Am, from I have no mouth, but I must scream. And with that, I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you guys so much for listening to this rambling, foolish man speak. And of course, God bless you. And yeah, bye-bye.